I'm in a position in my life where I have to read a lot of school books, but the thing is, I hate reading those books. I want to make time for doing other things like lifting weights, working on my YouTube business, and actually reading some helpful books that I can actually learn from. So I came up with what I call the casing system. Casing system. I guarantee that you have never heard this anyway because I came up with it myself. It's a method which, if you apply today, is going to help you to read more. So it's comprised of three factors: casing, meaning care, silencing, and tracking. And the care part is probably the most controversial. Most of you are going to disagree with me on that. But let's start with tracking. Follow my hand right now from right to left. Try to follow along. Right to left. You realize that it's not really that smooth, right? Because you're just staring at it with your eyes. But then, if you put a finger and start to track like this, you point with a finger and you are tracking. It's actually smooth. It's going to allow you to read faster and absorb books faster. That's the tracking part. You have to track what you are reading to allow yourself to actually read faster, because unless you're not tracking, your eyes are doing all the work and your eyes are not very good at that. The second part is the silencing. So when you read a book, right, you realize that it's not just you who's reading. It's like there's two of you. There's the outer part and the inner voice that's just repeating what you are reading. You're silencing. I'm trying to silence that inner voice. The next time that you read, it's just you just going off. Like when you read some stop signs or next signs, you really use your inner voice, but you actually understand what those signs are saying. So the goal of this is to silence that inner voice of you. You can use a site called Spreader. Yeah, find it online and use it. I don't follow the instructions, but the goal is to silence that inner voice. How do you do it? By practice using Spreader and some other websites, but I recommend Spreader. You do that by practicing. Over time, you get really better at silencing your inner voice. Next time you're reading, it's only you. That's the tracking part and the silence part. So you track what you're reading, and you also make sure that you silence your inner voice, so you are tracking without rereading it again in your heart. And the final part is the care. I really like that when I read a self-improvement book, I tend to understand more than when I read a geography book. The thing is, I don't really like geography that much, but when I was reading Can't Hate Me by David Goggins, I was really understanding all of that. Why? Because I was reading what I care about. But the reason why you could be reading a lot of books and not understanding anything is because you don't care about what you are reading. Find what excites you and then you read that. That's the care system. And some of you might think that, oh, that's stupid, or that may just be the science. But the truth is, if you don't care about it, no matter how much science you put, you may not really understand it. So find what you care about and focus much on reading it. And the bonus tip is called the implementation method. I combine it with the care. What you do is that when you read a book that you care about and there's an actionable step, try to apply it immediately, because otherwise you're going to forget. Right? If you are reading a book and you say that do 1,000 push-ups, do it immediately. Otherwise, you forget it. Number one, let's combine these together and make a casing system. You read what you care about and you track your words and you silence the inner voice, and that's how you absorb books faster. If you appreciate that, subscribe. It's free. You can always change your mind. If you want to learn about how to make hard work as addictive as social media, I'm going to link that video below. See you at the top.